Hello everyone, it's Dylan from Yugioh Everything and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh video. The Yugioh Chronicles short animation series is set to begin this coming April, and naturally I have a lot of questions regarding this production. Now we do know this is going to be shown once a month on the Yu-Gi-Oh OCG YouTube channel, but I do feel like there is a lot of important information that we still do not have that I do expect we will get in the upcoming months, and so I decided to make this video the top 5 burning questions that we have about the Yu-Gi-Oh Chronicles anime. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. I hope you all enjoy. Number 5, who will be the main writer/director? I am very intrigued by this because the Sky Striker manga was written by Shin Yoshida, and if you don't know who Yoshida is, he is a very well-known writer in the Yu-Gi-Oh space. He wrote Zexal, he was the main writer for Vrains, he was the main writer for, I believe, the second half of 5Ds as well. He was a part, I think, of like every Yu-Gi-Oh show except maybe Arc 5. So is Yoshida, who wrote the Sky Striker manga, going to return back to Yu-Gi-Oh? Obviously, he did not have any part in Sevens or Go Rush. People's opinions of Yoshida are pretty mixed. I think he's a pretty solid writer, and I'll be very interested to see who the writer and director is, if it's fresh blood or if it's going to be people that we have seen work on Yu-Gi-Oh before. There's a very good chance it is going to be fresh blood because writing a lore-style series is probably totally different than writing the traditional card game style anime that a lot of the Yu-Gi-Oh writers and directors have experience doing. But I am very interested to see who they are going to bring in to be the main writer and director of the Chronicles anime. Number 4, what archetypes will we be getting after Sky Striker and Albaz? Or worst case scenario, Sky Striker and Albaz are the only archetypes that we are going to be getting. I don't think that will be the case, but I think this is a really important question. There are so many different archetypes that we could dive into in regards of the lore, and in my personal prediction, I believe that they are going to start with the archetypes that were featured in the trailer that we got back in February of last year. So if you're a big fan of Maiden of the Eyes of Blue, or Six Samurai, or Melfi, Live Twin, I think those are the most likely archetypes that are going to get animated storylines over an archetype like Dinomorphia or Vendread, you know, stories that were not even included in that opening trailer. Right now, I am viewing that trailer as a little bit of a tease as to what we can expect to get after the Sky Striker and Albaz storylines are done. I think it'll be really interesting to see what we end up getting in the future because the sky is literally the limit. I mean, there are so many archetypes that you can do that you can literally make this go for the next 50 years without probably any hitch in the road because of all the source material. But what will we get after Sky Striker and Albaz remains to be seen. Number 3, how long will the series run for, and will we eventually get episodes more frequently? So I think this is another really important question that a lot of us have. Right now, we are getting one episode a month, and this kind of ties into the number 1 question I have, and the most important question, which we will get into later. We don't really know anything more than that. We don't know how long the episodes are going to be, and we don't know how long the series is going to run for. Is it scheduled to run for a year? Is it scheduled to run indefinitely? And as Konami Studios builds up its staff, will we eventually get more episodes more frequently? Will this eventually become a bi-weekly thing where we get 2 episodes a month? Will it eventually become a weekly thing where we get an episode every single week? Those are pretty important questions regarding the long-term future and stability of this series, and we really, truthfully, don't know at this time whether this is planned to only be like a 1-year project before maybe they return to the formal OCG TCG anime style. That's what some people predict. Other people think that this has the possibility of being the main anime, and we are going to be getting this for the next 10, 15, 20 years? And if that's the case, will they eventually ramp up production to do bi-weekly or weekly? Remains to be seen, and I think that is a very important question when thinking about the long-term success of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Chronicles anime. Number 2, will the show be officially subbed? I think this is very important for accessibility, which I think is one of the biggest struggles that Rush Duel anime had. Konami did not make any effort to make Sevens and now Go Rush accessible outside of Japan, and part of me kind of gets that, because the Rush Duel product that those anime are advertising are only available in OCG territories. At the time of recording this video, and probably even if you're watching 5 years into the future, Rush Duels are not available in the TCG. The only way to play them is through Duel Links. And so because there's no product to sell outside of the OCG territories, I just think Konami felt that making the shows available subbed outside of Japan was pointless. With Vrains, we had a beautiful, brilliant simulcast where 30 minutes after the episode aired in Japan, you could watch it with English subtitles over on Crunchyroll. I feel very good about this project being subbed officially. Number one, it's on YouTube, so YouTube will have like a closed caption subtitle capability. Now that might be auto-generated. Don't know how good that's going to be, but the really reassuring piece of evidence supporting this being subbed is that when they revealed the trailer on their YouTube channel, they did sub it. The trailer was subbed with English subtitles, and that leads me to believe that the show is going to be subbed when it releases on YouTube. At least I hope so. I think they want this to be as successful as possible, and I think they want everybody from around the world to enjoy this production. And so I think the odds that we get this show subbed are very good, but that does remain a big question. We also don't know how heavy the voice acting is going to be. Even though we have voice acting confirmed, I think this is going to be a primarily action type series, and so because there's going to be less lines to voice act than in a traditional duel where you have to explain effects and all that stuff, I think it also increases the likelihood. So this is a big question for me. The biggest question regarding the Yu-Gi-Oh! Chronicles anime is how long will each episode be? My lord, is this such an important unknown question at this time? If we are only getting 5-minute episodes once per month, that is going to stink. It just will. But if the episodes are going to be closer to 10 minutes, maybe we'll be so lucky to have them closer to 18, 20 minutes like a traditional anime episode. That is actually going to be really exciting. But there is a massive difference, and I don't think anybody can deny this, between a 5-minute episode like a Pokemon Generations were and a 20-minute episode like a traditional anime episode is, especially because we are only getting these once per month. The Albaz lore is massive. Even the Sky Striker lore is going to take a little bit to complete. And if the episodes are only 5 minutes and we're going to be spending 7 to 8 months on the Sky Striker lore and then the Albaz lore, it's just going to feel very slow, and I'm really not going to be a fan of it. This is, forget the other 4 questions, honestly, this is the most important question for me by a country mile. These episodes need to be at least 10 minutes long, in my opinion, for them to really hook people and for them to almost be worth watching, I think. 5 minutes is just going to feel way too short, especially because it's once a month. So I'm praying that these episodes will at least be around the 10-minute mark, and anything more than that is a great thing. So guys, those are my top 5 burning questions about the Yu-Gi-Oh! Chronicles anime, which is scheduled to start this April. I thought about maybe asking whether there's going to be an English dub. There were a lot of other questions that came to mind, but I wanted to just do my top 5. And if you guys want to try to predict the answers to these questions, please do in the comments. If you guys have some questions as well, please write them in the comments. I'll be looking forward to hearing your thoughts regarding the Chronicles anime. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll talk to you in the comments, and I hope you have an amazing day. Take care, guys.